Your next speaker is going to talk about something that stings a little. Okay? Thanks for laughing. Those of you who know the talks. His talk is entitled, "Where Did All the Honeybees Go? Where Have All the Honeybees Gone?" Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Chalmers. Give him a round of applause.
I hear the voice of God in the buzzing of the bees. Therefore, they're pretty important to me. So as the bees began to disappear from our culture, I began to think of why. And it came down to this. Beekeepers and the beekeeping industry are the reason that we are losing our bees. You see, bees are pretty simple. They collect nectar, they turn it into honey for their food, they collect pollen, and they use it for their food. It's a pretty simple process. But somehow we have forgotten that bees actually eat the honey they produce. So beekeepers in the industry take all of the honey off the hives, and then they feed their honeybees with substitute of corn syrup and substitute pollen. Now, I don't know about you, but it's akin to feeding a child Twinkies and salami all the time. It affects the very DNA of the bees, and I believe that it weakens them for the future generations that bees need to build. Because bees need to be nutritionally strong, because eventually they are going to produce a queen. And this queen is going to lay approximately 250,000 eggs in her lifetime. She needs to be strong. She needs to be able to do what she does and do it well. And so this queen, this very special bee, needs to be from very good stock, needs to have strong DNA, and instead the industry is feeding these bees sugar water and pollen substitute instead of the real food. And so as she goes through her life, she lays eggs. And then these eggs develop into another future bee. Well, the problem is, if she is not strong and viable, she will die early, or she will not produce quality bees. Now, this all starts with the beekeeper. Right now, most beekeepers and the industry, they hire someone to create their queens or to make bees for them. 1,000 miles away, 2,000 miles away. Even in the middle of the winter, I can get a queen flown in from Kona, Hawaii. Beekeepers need to be responsible to produce their own queens and to produce their own bees in the ecosystem where they actually are keeping these bees, where these bees are going to be collecting the pollen, where they're going to be collecting the nectar. Another thing, I have no control over where my bees go. When they leave the hive, they're going to go approximately 3 miles, and they're going to collect nectar, and they're going to collect pollen. I can't say, guys, go where I want you to. So they go out into the environment. And they bring back every chemical that is out there. If it's a pesticide or herbicide or a fungicide, they bring it back. Now, I'm not anti-chemical, because chemicals can be good. But I do not like the fact that many of our chemical companies, when questioned, will this pesticide kill the bees? They go, no. And we ask them as beekeepers, how do you know that? Well, our research tells us. And I go, well, let me see your research. And they go, no. It makes sense to me that if my bees are bringing back pollen and nectar that has poison in it and feeding it to the baby bees, it's probably not good for those baby bees. What do you think? And generations later, those bees are weak. That's the varroa mite. Oh yeah, Varroa destructa, if you know Latin. It's destroyed millions of hives. And because we have weak bees, they're not able to defend themselves against that creature. You guys like rest after you've worked hard? Well, the beekeeping industry is not set up that way. Because we monocrop, that means we grow different crops in different parts of the country, and we grow them in large swaths, large patches. I can move my bees about 9 or 10 months out of the year and have them work the whole time. But bees are not made to do that. They're made to work 3 or 4 months, go dormant for a while, work a couple more months, and then go dormant for the winter, and then rebuild. But instead, the industry puts millions of bees on trucks and moves them all over the country for 11 or 12 months out of the year. And we are stressing the bees. So we have bad nutrition, we have bad breeding, We have a definite fact that we're stressing them by overworking them. We have not been taking care of our bees. And so if you as the consumer of honey are concerned about this in any way, let me tell you what to do. Ask your beekeeper, does he really take care of his bees? Does he feed his bees honey instead of sugar? And then ask the industry, will you begin to use more natural processes in taking care of this beautiful insect, the honeybee? Let it buzz, guys. Let it buzz. Have a great evening.